Welcome back, boys. Another episode of the La Liga Lounge. Me and Houston, per usual, coming at you. Season 3, episode 10. Houston, how you doing, buddy?
I had a stressful week sitting on the bench waiting for my matchup. No, but it was fun watching these quarterfinals. We're gonna start with some Lions, I know, Dan, but the quarterfinals were fun to watch. Kevin did not succumb to Anthony as everybody thought. He won probably like more. He covered like 33 points or something.
Yeah, I think he did cover. Yeah, Kevin took care of business, and Murphy beat Max, which was a nice little kind of an upset. I'd almost call it, Hughes.
Yeah, you know what? I'm happy that I'm happy for whoever won that game. Max just moved back to Michigan. Mercer, newcomer ish, second year. We found that out last podcast. But yeah, Murph's making some noise.
Yeah, I think that game, Murph versus Timmy, is really interesting, but we'll get to that later. Let's jump into the Lions, Houston.
Yeah.
7-7, 500. They're 514 games into the season, which is honestly pretty rare for the Lions. So, Houston, what are you making of the season so far?
Dan, I know you don't do the sports books a ton, which is a good habit, but you would have won Lions overs, man. 6.5. They did it. They unbelievable. 1-6. You'd be like, no, they're not gonna get their 6.5 wins. So, but you called it. I said they miss it. They win out. They most likely will be in the playoffs. Very statistically unlikely that they don't. So, I think they go 2-1 and still got a good chance, right? 9-8. They play. Who do they play this week?
Carolina.
They play
Carolina, Bears, Packers.
All below 500 teams.
Yeah. I think they make the playoffs. No.
Really?
I've been wrong every time before. I'm hoping I'm wrong again, but I think they're going to disappoint. We're kind of like the Cowboys without fans. We disappoint when it matters most. But it has been fun to watch. I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid, but it's fun watching everyone get drunk on the Kool-Aid around me, you know? What's your take on?
Hughes, just to be here in this moment, at this point in the season, is pretty damn good for the Lions. But I'll say this. I think they have a pretty good shot at making the playoffs. I think you take care of business in Carolina, which is honestly the one that is most winnable of the remaining games, in my opinion. You take care of that. Next week, Washington, I think the Bears. Washington plays Cincinnati, or not Cincinnati, Kansas City.
Oh, the people that got to get bumped above us. Yeah,
Washington. Yeah, all I'm saying is that, after this week, we could be in the playoffs very easily, and we could even clinch by week 17. So, if certain things play out, obviously we need help, but, the way the schedule works out, dude, it kind of works out in our favor, I think. I'm looking at the teams that the people we got to pass are playing against.
Agreed.
You're talking about Kansas City. You're talking about
the 2 or 3 teams above us have harder schedules for sure.
100%.
Yeah. But the question, Dan, Josh brought this up in the pre-meeting. Who is your Lions MVP?
This is a very interesting question, honestly, Houston, because there is nobody that just instantly comes to mind. You could go with Jared Goff right off the bat, and that's probably the most immediate one. But I'm gonna give you one that maybe is a little bit more low key, and I'm gonna say Aiden Hutchinson. Honestly, I really think that's fine. Whatever. You got the fucking Michigan shirt on, not me, buddy. fucking. I just think if without him, our defense would be the most historically worst defense there is. I mean, that might be a little bit of exaggeration, but I feel like what he's been able to contribute has brought our defense to the point to where it's at least below average, I guess.
I don't love that Hutchinson hype. I think he's had a couple. I think he's been in this hot streak playing really well, but I still think he's overhyped. I don't love the marketing around him, all that jazz. I'm gonna say Jamal Williams. And this was tough too. I don't think we had an answer in pre-meeting, but I think he scores in the red zone, and I think just the videos you see on social media and his post-game interviews. He's a team guy. He brings the teams together. He doesn't care if Swift scores or if Goff throws for 4 touchdowns and he doesn't seem to complain when he doesn't get his playing time and his reps, because I know Justin Jackson's been getting a lot of reps lately too. I'm going Jamal Williams, man. He just wants the team to do well.
I think that's a really good call, especially if you take in what happens off the field in a lot of ways too, right? I think Jamal has a lot to do with that with the locker room.
You said something at the beginning of the line, Stan, and then we'll move on to La Liga, where you were like, there's not one guy. Are we the Pistons of 04, where there's not one guy and we are just gonna fucking go?
Dude.
Goosebumps, little goosebumps right there, Oh.
Anything can
Goff
happen.
or Chauncey. I'll call Goff Chauncey Goff.
Anything can happen once you're in, Hughes. In the NFL more so than almost any other league, I feel like too. So,
yeah.
And if we make it, we're going in hot. That's the thing. We're feeling good at the right time. But as you said earlier, Hughes, let's move this conversation to La Liga. Really, we got prime time into the Final Four of the championship and Final Four of the Chode. I mean, things are getting really heated, Hughes.
Speaking of, let's talk about the Chode. And every year I need a refresher on the Chode. And Dan, you're explaining to me before. Can you explain to our listeners the Chode again? And then we're going to talk about the Final Four in the Chode.
Yeah. So real quick, I mean, we've explained this in the past before, but real quick. So it's a ladder system instead of a bracket system.
Yep.
Okay, which is different. So right now, basically the 2 bottom matchups of the league, so the 4 teams in those 2 bottom matchups are the only 2 that have 4 teams that have a chance to make the Chode game. And if you lose the Chode game, then obviously you're the big fat Chode. So basically, if you're in the 9 through 12 spot right now, you're in trouble. But luckily for myself and Forbes, thank you. We won last week, so we're okay. But the other 4 teams are not. I mean, I did a bad job explaining it, but I feel like you guys kind of get the point at this point.
You win, you go up. If you lose, you go down. So anyone can go.
The 2 losers, so the loser of Carl and Eric will play for the Chode against the loser of Ruben and Jeff.
Correct.
I have Eric. I think he's been non-existent. We invited him 3 times to be a guest on the podcast. He refuses to even respond. I don't even think he said in his lineups. He moved to.
He thought the league was over after last week.
Yeah, deserves to be the Chode. I think he's gonna get the Chode. He can go to a Waffle House wherever down south he is.
Yeah, I mean, I called Eric last week, so I'm gonna stick with it now.
I'm jumping on that. I think he was favored like minus 250 for Chode or something. It was. You can check the sportsbook odds there, but it was bad. But let's get to the money-making games here. Okay, finals. Kevin won, so I play Kevin. I kick off tonight. We're gonna get this video out during the primetime game here.
Mm-hmm. You got the early lead, 5.6-0, Hughes.
Yeah. You know what?
Who do you got running right now?
It doesn't matter. Who do I have playing?
Yeah, who do you have playing right now?
I have Evan Ingram playing.
Okay, 5.
So he's got 3 catches, 40 yards. Yeah. I need Burrow McCaffrey to get hurt. And Gardner Minshew needs to throw to white people, not AJ Brown. And it's not being racist, just factual for me to win, right? And then, gosh, Tampa Bay. Can Mike Evans get the ball back? Why is he suddenly throwing to Chris Godwin all the time? Like, Kevin's lineup's so good. I'm going to need like 2 or 3 guys to just fall off the face of the earth.
Well, Hughes, I'll tell you this. I'm surprised to see that you're actually favored in the projected totals right now. You are. You got 116 to Kevin's 110. So
they're favoring Montgomery to get like 15, 16 points, which I don't think is going to happen. You're at Buffalo. It's going to be like minus 10.
It's going to be a great matchup between you and Kevin. I'm actually really excited for it, Hughes, because you've been at number 1 seed all year, even though you didn't quite finish there. But you were, top of the league.
And lucky games, right? Least points against, not a ton for.
Yeah, I mean, you had some things break your way for sure. But the fact of the matter is you were up there. And Kevin is the team I think you and I both have been most in support of throughout the year, reluctantly. I'll say that. But I feel like we both come to agreement that Kevin's probably like objectively got the best team in the league doesn't mean
For
it's
sure.
going to win, but
And we want
he
him to
does
lose
have a
too.
good
That
team.
shows our professionalism.
Yeah, no, exactly. So I think that's why I think this matchup is so huge because it's you versus Kevin, fucking two teams we've been talking about probably the most this year. I think it's going to be really good.
Yeah.
Houston, we do got a bit of a surprise for you right now.
For me. Oh,
For
shit.
you.
Houston, we meet again, only this time in the playoffs. Just remember, your players are overrated, your team's a fraud, and you're going to lose. Good luck to you, and you suck.
Fake
Wow.
news, Kevin. Fake news. Go back to China. Wow,
Nice,
that was
Joshua.
good.
That was
That
well
was good.
produced, Joshua. Well produced. I should give you an opportunity to retaliate to Kevin's message there. You got anything to say back to the boy?
I'm not getting that. I gotta process it. You know what? Fuck you, Kevin. Fuck you.
Uh-oh.
Fuck you. I'm coming for you. I'm coming for your children and your fucking dog. I know where you fucking live. I sent a Christmas card to you. Okay? I'm gonna do some fucking push-ups right now. 1, 2, 3, 7, 99, 1,000. Off, Kevin.
Great reply, Hughes. Great reply. I love it. I love it.
While he's doing that, you guys are starting to transition to the next matchups. I got a video for Timmy from Murph
Ooh.
and a video from Murph to Timmy. So let's play these real quick.
All right, run them.
Hello, Fantasyland. Tim O'Callahan. Got some bad news for you, buddy. Streak ends here. It's over, man. They say a ginger gets a freckle every time he gets a fantasy win. Well, I gotta tell you something, buddy. I don't see any more freckles in your future, so good luck, but this W's mine, buddy.
Ginger gets a freckle.
And here we go.
Wow.
Murphy, I wish you the best of luck, dude, but there's no chance on God's green earth that Gardner Minshew's going to pull this one out for you, pal. Zook knows it. You know it. The whole league knows it, pal.
Zook knows.
It's been a pleasure playing with you this year. Looking forward to you, reading at my wedding, but sorry, bud, going to have to give you your 8th boss of the year.
Here we go.
Wow. Nice trash talk from both of these participants of the next game.
I didn't know you guys had this coming. Oh man. That is funny stuff.
I didn't know we had Timmy versus Murphy coming in on those sound bites either, Hughes. So
Wow. Yeah, I didn't know what to do. Just blood rushed through my veins, and I didn't know what to do. My shirt's inside out.
all right, well, Hughes, let's just bring it to the game, right? Let's talk about Timmy versus Murphy.
Yeah.
What I think is a really fun matchup. Maybe not like I wouldn't call it the Battle of the Titans like you and Kevin are, but it's like it's whoever wins this game could obviously win the championship.
Sure. I mean, Timmy has Josh Allen, just a stud. Jefferson, and those has been his two, cornerstones. Mark Andrews is down, man. Doesn't have Lamar. Murph has a chance, but I think Minshew does have to show up. But I think he can.
Yeah, I think Minshew is such a wild card move, but I kind of love it, honestly.
Yeah.
It's like there were other people on the waiver wire who like are projected more points or are a more safe bet, but Murphy's just like fuck it, it's all or nothing on Minshew. And
I love that.
And I love that too, dude. Banking on some Minshew magic, and I feel like he might be right, bro. I feel like he might be
If
right.
he
So
wins the championship with Minshew, and then next week too. I mean, you'd have to get a new quarterback. That'd be something.
that would be awesome, and also a testament to Philadelphia backup quarterbacks.
Well, we're just about out of time. I did not. Those bits were fun. They cut on the time a bit, but they were well worth it. Thank you, Joshua. Good luck to everyone in the semifinals here, and worst of luck to those in the chode run.
Yeah,
Till
boys.
next time, Dan.
Yeah, see y'all next week. Don't forget FTC.
FCC.
Yeah, FTC. There, boys.